And we are ready to go racing here. Good start from Danilo Petrucci, but a brilliant start from Marc Marquez on pole position, who's desperate to go into turn one.
Didn't half lead on Danilo Petrucci. Jorge Lorenzo got a real good launch off the line. He was up inside that top from the three, lock in the front, in the brakes right behind Carol Abraham, who was down as well.
As it has been so often this year, it will be gutted as well. He can't work out what on earth has just happened.
Dovizioso got a really good launch off the line, but he's been passed by Rossi and the hard-charging Pol Espargaro, who's been brilliant on the KTM.
Onto the back, pouncing on his protege, Franco Morbidelli at the end of the back straight. He moves up into fourth.
Yeah, he made light work
as well. He's right in the mix. There he is, number 44, behind 21 Morbidelli.
Yeah, started 12th with Pol Espargaro.
Yeah,
and it's Marc Marquez exactly where he wanted to be.
Great job, isn't it, from Marquez at the start of this race. He will rejoin the race. I thought there was a moment there from Marquez. He lost all momentum. Through goes Danilo Petrucci.
But toughed it out with Petrucci again on that second lap. Pol Espargaro now into 5th place. He's picked off Franco Morbidelli. Pol Espargaro, sorry Steve, he's up in the 4th. He's running hot at the museum corner. Rossi sweeps straight back on through. But Pol Espargaro, Dovi, then Lorenzo. Oh, a bit of a nudge further back there for Taka Nakagami. He's out of the seat. Yeah, somebody
struggles the most. Can these guys use that Ducati power up to the top of the hill once more? On board here with Jack Miller.
Driving up down that start-finish straight. Dovizioso, that's ruthless up the inside of Pol Espargaro. He's 9th now, 133.573, but Marquez is clicking into top gear.
You know, Marquez was a little wide then as well. That's just allowed Miller a bit closer down into turn number 8.
Slap to let Maverick Vinales come through a couple of years ago.
Marquez being told what the situation is, fastest lap, closing the gap. Into turn 3 we go. Rossi still 3rd, then Dovi, then Petrucci, then Polis.
Le Mans, that's the short 5 MotoGP wins here. The last came in 2016 when he registered the big times. He's unlocked the door to the top step of the podium in Le Mans, Jorge Lorenzo.
Maverick Vinales, bad start for him.
He's down in 14th place, so not the start that he needed as Dovizioso's got up the inside of
there from Dovi on Rossi now, on board with Miller. He's closing on Marc Marquez. He might not have things all his own way. It's going to close up. They're both on 132s. Here comes Miller through turn 1. Will he have a look?
It's a completely different ball game though. And Jack Miller then fires up the inside of Marquez into turn 3. He's seen it. Led from the first corner till he dumped it in Austin. Led the whole race in Jerez. This is the first.
We'll know that Miller does not pose a championship threat. He won't do anything too silly with Miller. He might just let him run home straight we go. It's a complete lap 5. Miller leads from Marquez, and we're on board with the world champion now.
No, it's his time management in the latter stages now. How much is he having to use up those tyres to keep Marquez at bay?
Then into turn 6, La Chapelle, this one's named. Marquez trying to find a way back through.
We're down in 16th place now. Quattararo not even in the points. Who could have seen that coming 5 laps in? Probably wrong for him.
Miller said one of the problems he had on Friday afternoon was holding a line. He struggled to hold the lap. No, at the moment it's building a bit. Let's see.
Oh, actually, on the top Yamaha and Cal Crutch on a factory Honda. This is an unbelievable ride by Pol Espargaro.
He might now try and pounce again on Jack Miller. Is he looking up the inside into turn 1? No room.
Get brilliantly there up at turn number 3. He got in hot now. Can Miller get him on the cutback coming over the crest out of turn? Inside, look at this.
Brilliant racing. Unbelievable stuff. And that has invited Dovizioso at once. Round turn 7. Look how much time Dovizioso and Rossi have gained as
exchange between Marquez and Miller brought Dovizioso and Rossi right back into it. Dovizioso came over the line.
Though, Miller, and he's got nothing to lose, we should just point out, unlike Marc Marquez.
I was just going to say, we're in Motogp, the modern day 2019 lap like Jorge Lorenzo. The back of the picture there was just running
18th place. Into La Chapelle we
crashed.
go.
He's crashed. There's been an incident. Go Bagnaia. That's back-to-back DNS for him. His tough rookie season continues.
Maverick had no idea what.
Absolutely no fault of his own.
Tranmere, who rejoined, is about to be lapped by this lot. He'd do well to get. It's been waved. You can't overtake at this point.
This is the Bagnaia and Vinales incident. Now there is Petrucci though, with clear track in front of him. He's been able to gap Pol Espargaro pretty quick.
Of that Honda, I tell you, there's nothing wrong with that bike in that department. Marc Marquez picks that up
in Jerez, unless there's been some kind of technical issue. But Andrea Iannone quite clearly, he's in the pits.
Rossi, top 4. And it's Petrucci, Pol Espargaro, Carol Abraham, black flag there.
That's it, will come up with this 200th Grand Prix. If you've picked up a bit of a choice language there, we apologise. Of course, he's going to be very good on Espargaro. 2 laps in a row now, he set his personal best laps of the race. Last time around, in the 32s, 32.8.
Quartararo, who's in 13th place at the moment. It's not looking like it's going to be celebrations for
what's happened to him. Well, there you go. Garage there, lap 3. And that's why Fabio, no penalty for him.
Marc Marquez is taking 2 tenths out of them.
On the marginally quicker than Miller is Marquez, and Dovizioso will see that. He's going to Rossi, aren't they? Valentino Rossi at the moment can't go with the 2 Ducatis ahead of him. He's keeping warm with Eli Crutchlow and Lorenzo at bay.
Into turn 8 for Marquez. He's just got a bit of breathing.
In contention for this French Grand Prix victory. This is with Marc Marquez almost coming through the first corner, and then he's going to get absolutely swamped. You can just see him turn in because Jack Miller had nabbed that bit of tarmac.
Marc Marquez is starting to get into his rhythm. 2.5. The gap now is up to 6 tenths. And Dovizioso really needs to go through to fall into the hands of Danilo Petrucci.
The trouble is Dovizioso's got no machine advantage or no tire on the brakes himself, is he, Jack Miller? And that Ducati, look at it, it'll just... They wind out the acceleration. In acceleration, there's nothing wrong with how Marquez gets that bike off the corners.
But the thing is, they can't then get...
It's one of the toughest things in world motorcycle racing.
This is the battle for 4th and 5th. Rossi up to 32.3.
The hammer's out and the hammer's down. Definitely. Fabgami in 10th this rins. This is going to put a big dent in his early championship challenge. It just proves getting yourself into a podium battle.
No.
Alex Rins needs rain now, and flag to flag.
Yeah, rider on paper to have matched Marc Marquez for pace in the dry so far this weekend, but he paid the price for it.
And that's the puzzle facing Petrucci right now.
On turn 11, flick it left into 12, and then it's 13 and 14 up ahead. Probably grow when they go across the line because of that acceleration from Marquez out of turn 14.
This is line away from Valentino Rossi, and he got into that 4th place, so now he can try and help Bagnaia. I think it's fair to say that Maverick Vinales very, very shortly can be kissing goodbye to
see. I agree. Espargaro, brilliant ride. I dare say, in the dry, this will count as best ever in terms of gap to the leader for KTM. He's ridden brilliantly so far. If he had the inside line, there was no way in a million years that Rossi could turn in. Now, is it too late? As Petrucci already just shows how much time Petrucci lost. There is Espargaro from 15th on the grid. A top 8 would not be a terrible result from there. Then Lorenzo, Nakagami.
The guys in front of him, they're comfortably doing high 132s.
Everything neat, everything tidy, and you can see the gap corner where he is creaming everyone. He's taking 2 tenths out of everyone every single time. Over the line we go, and we have reached the halfway point of the race.
It's proving to be crucial. He just builds up that decisive lead. Now 1.3 seconds clear of Miller. Absolutely one of his better rides in a dry MotoGP race. Of course, Austin, a few weeks ago, was his...
Rossi not able to stick with Danilo Petrucci. Quartararo now just behind him, so Quartararo's just started to make some forward movement again after the mistake earlier, and there's a mistake.
So you're looking at the battle for 10th position. Won't disadvantage Quartararo, but point of his home Grand Prix. But of course we did see early on lap 3 that crucial run off at Gary.
2 tenths, yeah, it's the same. It's just the final sector every time, every time.
It's on the RC16. There's only one man circulating on this legendary Ducati track, quick and Marc Marquez, but it's going to be the man himself. It's going to take an error of his own doing. You see Jack Miller's taken 2 or 3 bike lengths out of Andrea Dovizioso on this lap as well. His forte. He's got work to do to find a way through on on Jack Miller. Marquez, 2 seconds, he has definitely pulled the pin.
Yeah, Miller's struggling on that last lap. He did a 33 because they're quick in the same places.
Fabio in corner is in well wide, and Andrea Dovizioso, well, he didn't have to tussle it out, didn't have to slug it out.
He's out to Marquez, then finish second. That would be what Dovizioso would say, and at the moment that's what's happened. His head.
Yeah, well, in Jerez, before he had that late collision with Alexis, Has he got any rear tyre left, any front tyre left for these final 11 laps to keep himself on that coveted slip seat alongside Andrea Dovizioso? Well, Mark Pride stake, that's for sure. Ridiculous, ludicrous is the consistency of Marc Marquez. 132.362. Nobody else has got. They cannot live with this man's form right now.
You know, another personal fast lap, 32.4 Fabio Quartararo.
Quicker than Marquez.
He is quicker than Marquez.
Been stuck in the low 133s for quite some time. Lorenzo is going to be susceptible here. Time out of Alex Rins. We know that Alex Rins, second in the World Championship, is no slouch on the Suzuki.
A bit more to offer as well, if I'm honest, on the Yamaha. From 5th on the grid at the moment, he hasn't really made any headway.
He never really had the pace in the dry on Friday, did Valentino Rossi. That's why he missed the top 10 in FP behind Petrucci and a 1.3 clear of Pol Espargaro. Jack Miller's going to have a fastest lap of the race. Quartararo immediately runs wide at the museum corner. Going to do all the hard work in Raj Fair. Does anybody want to cut an apex between those two?
Onto the back straight between Lorenzo.
Though, because he's got Petrucci swarming all over him. Now, has Andrea Dovizioso, he was being too aggressive on the bike, creating a lot of wheel spin, and thus creating the Japanese rider has crashed out. Taka Nakagami was looking actually for one of the best. Petrucci's got through. Petrucci up into 3rd place then on Jack Miller.
Yeah, he's going to... And the 2 other Ducatis around him cannot live with that. Into turn 8 we go. And Petrucci might end. And down the back straight then, it's the 2 factory Ducatis and then Jack Miller.
Really, really loose on the rear tyre on the throttle coming out of Shimano Berth. Andrea Dovizioso's crucial championship points to his teammate. He's going to have to do a lot of defending the time.
Petrucci, the fastest rider on circuit on that last lap.
The grid, a few nerves, a few butterflies ahead of his Grand Prix Motogp debut in Doha, and then he set the...
One thing, if you're going to take the positives out of it, is that he's coming, isn't he? And when it all knits together...
Yeah, there's just always one card not slotting into the deck nicely, isn't there, for Fabio Quartararo? The gear shift. Yeah, this is a truly stunning effort by Pol Espargaro.
I want to look at the lap times here of the Ian Espargaro in the 32s.
Well, we're into unknown territory now, aren't we, Steve? Nobody at this weekend. So
yeah, good point.
It's going to be who's got the setup the best with the restricted dry track time we've had so far. Because Marquez, he loves the hard rear tyre here in Le Mans. He won with it last year, but he knew. He said yesterday on Friday, dictated tyre choice.
Still no change on the back straight, but Rossi is now starting to close in. The early stages, though, by Jack Miller, valiantly. Who will be on the podium? You wouldn't want to make...
It's going to be a big, big task for Petrucci. Oh, here he comes, right on cue. Is he going to get in hot? He's fitted then, and he thought better of it. He thought, hang on a minute, we might be having contact here with Andrea Dovizioso. He might have...
Not enough for him on the dashboard.
So Petrucci there. Just good to know, though, Steve. Just good for Petrucci to let Andrea Dovizioso team orders at this stage of the season. Petrucci fighting for personal glory, as he should do.
Quartararo here is just not just podium pace, but race-winning pace right now as the Frenchman to manage that. Aleix Espargaro has been given a 1.4 second penalty. He's out into turn 3 for the Frenchman. He's closing on Cal Crutchlow in the Petrucci chasing Dobby with Miller and Rossi close by.
Oh,
Here it is.
Another look.
One thing you don't want to do is wipe out your teammate.
It's a long, long time since Andrea Dovizioso has had to work this.
Straight we go, on board with Danilo Petrucci. Just trying to find a way through.
Large there. Dovizioso just gets his rear tyre hooked up better. He's a little bit gentler on the throttle, but going into Shimano Berth, which is one of the favoured overtaking spots here in Le Mans.
He's still in complete control. 3.8 seconds his advantage, with now throwing a massive message out to his opposition.
Yeah, unless Marc Marquez slams the self-destruct button. It's Dovizioso versus Petrucci. Petrucci looked at this move last time around. He's gone through at Museum Corner. Is he in hot?
Yeah, let's see if he can ping it out of Garage Fair again.
Will it be 3rd time lucky then for Petrucci? He's at 2. And
Fabio Quartararo doesn't just fancy 8th here. He wants a top 6.
This dry race margin that KTM have ever been to the race winner. It's been a phenomenal performance by the Spanish.
Seconds of a race winner. They're on course for that right now. This would feel every bit as good as that podium they picked up in the
dry, have they, KTM?
Cal Crutchlow's gone wide into La Chapelle. Through into 8th place then.
Down into garage there. No, he can't. Looks like Andrea Dovizioso is really struggling with that rear tyre.
Oh, here in France, who will be on the podium?
Jack Miller's coming back into it as well, as is Valentino Rossi, so is fighting for the World Championship. If Petrucci's going to find his way through, he better make it clean and tidy.
There's the first chance for Danilo Petrucci gone. Miller and Rossi desperately hoping that those two...
Through La Chapelle. Looks like he's got perhaps a little bit more cycling, but now it's here coming into the museum corner. Where he's down into garage there. Will he take the risk? Will he go for it and lunge up the inside of Andrea Dovizioso?
It looks like Miller and Rossi's chances have gone for now. Here's Marquez, he's rolled it off on the last lap, but he
to record him on. Here is Marc Marquez, set to register another famous winner, record breaker for Honda.
Heavy Dovizioso that holds on for second place, with Danilo Petrucci in third. Fourth place, he takes eighth behind Pol Espargaro, who probably has to take one of the rides of the day. Performance going to be unbearable in a couple of hours' time when we cover after the flag, but another brilliant performance. He's been good enough to talk to Simon Crapper.
How does that feel, Mike?
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, it's great. I mean, KTM pushed so hard from the factory to bring new parts to this Jerez test, and it looks...
He's in front of the Marquez fan club. It's been a pretty good... Yet again, briefly yielded the Jack Miller in the early...
They've got to do something about that kid out front, because if Marc Marquez wins in either Mugello or Catalunya...
Screens, it is victory number 300 in the Premier class. 53 years now in the Motogp era.
And someone's picked up an Alex Rins to Jean-Paul Play, a marshal who sadly lost his life earlier in the weekend here.
Second place to Marquez last year. Valentino Rossi started fifth. Jack Miller, a role reversal there. Rossi just picked Miller to the podium here 1 year ago. Stunning pace. Yet again, just did at
the end. He was lapping quicker in the last 7-8 laps than anyone else on circuit.
Well, but the small consolation prize is the top independent team rider today, and he was less than a second. Marvellous Marc Marquez. The bandwagon rolls on.